Okay, so this just shows how to make it a little bit nicer and package it up so that it can be deployed as an executable program for someone. The first thing we need to deal with is the fact that this image, the picture of Prabhu for the Sentai, is linked directly to my downloads folder. So if I made this if I made this right away into an executable jar file, a runnable jar file, and I put that somewhere on my desktop, for example, then it would work on my computer, but it wouldn't work on anybody else's. So just to demonstrate that, I'll just move this out of the way. Oops. There we go. So I should have that on my desktop. There it is, Sentai top left. So if I double click on that, looks great, or will look great. Hang on, where is it? Opens on my computer, has a picture of Prabhu there nicely. However, if I was to open it on a different computer, and what I'll do is I'll simulate that by just deleting that image. Hang on. I'll delete that image from the Sentai. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was welcome. No, Prabhu small. Let's see. There you go. Prabhu small maybe. Let's try PRA. I've deleted that already. Okay, I'll just check quickly what it was called. So inside my label, my JLabel, you can see with the image icon, I've referenced it directly to welcome Sentai 2 in my downloads folder. So if I go in there now in my downloads folder and I change that, for example, to welcome Sentai 3, it'll be as if it doesn't exist, because in another computer, if I started this application on another computer, it wouldn't have that folder and that file in it. So if I try and open this now, it may or may not open. It probably won't open. Oh, it will open, but it won't display the image. That's gone. That's quite lucky. That's because it traps the exception. If it hadn't trapped that exception, it wouldn't even have opened. It would have closed down. Okay, so how do I include that? I need to get the image inside the jar file, the executable jar file. Oops, let's just start that again. Hang on. I think I've just double clicked on that again by accident. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to delete that jar file because I'm going to make another version. Alright. So I'm going to first of all make another folder inside my Cafe project, which is a package, of course, in Java. So I'm going to make a new package, and this has to be unique within my namespace of my folder. So I'm just going to call it Sentai Images. And I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to import into that. I'm going to choose the file system option, not the others. And I'm going to take it from my downloads folder. And just give it a second to refresh as it loads all the importable files in. It gives me a choice. And I'm going to choose the Welcome Sentai 3 that I've just created there. Welcome Sentai 3. All looks okay. That will import it in and add it into that folder. So now whenever I go into my label on my JFrame form, instead of having it as an absolute image, I'll have it as a class path resource, and I'll open up source Sentai images and select it from there. So now whenever I export a runnable jar file, and then I start that up, it's going to refer to that image. There we go. Oh, what are the warnings? I'll look at that in a second. Wow, again, butterfingers. Here we go. So I open up the Sentai jar file. And there we go. Okay, so that's dealt with. Another thing that I could do just quickly to, well, two things I could do quickly to improve it are, first of all, I could make it appear in the center of the screen. So in the constructor, the method which has the same name as the class, which is run first in ordering. One of the first things I can do inside here is I can say this dot set this dot set parent, no, set component pane, content pane, location, it's not that one, preferred size, type. Oh, you know what? If I don't do something every week in my life, I forget about it. I just look that up quickly. So center, JFrame. I think it's set. I think it was setting the parent to null. Why didn't I see set parent there? Oh, location relative to null, of course. Location relative means that it starts off a little bit to the left, to the right, and a little bit further down of something. So in this case, it's imagining that there's a parent window which is in the top left-hand corner of the screen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it relative to null, so it will appear in the center. Set location relative to null. So that will now appear in the center. That's number one. Another thing I can do is make it a little bit less boring by changing the color scheme. So let's shift select a number of these, and what it'll do is it will show me the properties which they have in common. So I can look and I can see foreground is in common here, so let's change the foreground color, or the writing in other words, to white. Let's change the background of the content pane. I'm going to change that to black. Let's see what else can I do. I can play around if I want to with the fonts of these, of course. Looking for a nice brown color here, nice coffee color. Here we go. No, not these. Something like this would probably be good. There we go, try that. There we go, nice coffee color. And of course, I can change the size of the JFrame form, so it kind of tidies it up a little bit. Whoops. What is that down there? The content pane. Sometimes it can be tricky to grab the actual corner of the JFrame form, but let's give it a go. Make sure you got that selected first, and then bring it up to about here and let go. Okay, let's see what that's like. Looks alright. That didn't start in the center of the screen. That's a little bit odd. Let's have a look at that again. So in the actual constructors, this set location relative to null. Okay, I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it towards the end. So it happens after all the controls have been added. And then let's try that again. There we go, right in the center of the screen. That's much better. Okay, and I'm going to export that using the runnable jar file wizard. I'll replace what I have there. Okay, get rid of that, and this should now be a fully contained application. There we go. Check it works. Oh, I could. I think I should really have left that ink with the foreground color to be black. There we go, and the button as well. Okay. So. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna fix those last couple of things, and then I'm gonna leave it. So that foreground color for that list should be black. I'll make it coffee colored. Why not? There we go. Put that in there, coffee colored. And likewise, I will make these two shift and click. I'll make these two foreground color. This one definitely foreground color, because I'm going to draw over that, and the button as well. Foreground should be, let's go for that coffee color again. And there we go. There's our finished application.